Smart English Podcast. Okay, new game, no thinking, no editing, just answer. Tell me 3 things you want in life that nobody ever suggested to you. 3 things you chose completely on your own. Go.
Easy. I want a nice car. My uncle put that in my head. He's always going on about engines. Fine. Second one, I want to take a long trip somewhere. But that's for my friends' gap year photos. I'm noticing a pattern already, and I don't like it.
So inspiration, not influence, is that the argument? Because I'm not sure there's a difference when you can't find the original idea anywhere in your head.
One more, though. I want to be successful. And before you ask, yes, it's my father's definition. He's got this whole picture of what a successful life looks like, and I've been walking toward it since I was 16.
So your entire wish list came from other people. Uncle, friend, father? And you're telling me that's normal?
I'm telling you it's common. Whether it's normal is exactly what I'm scared to find out.
Then I have great news. We're about to find out together. But first, a confession, and it's slightly embarrassing. When I was 17, I spent a whole year planning a career I didn't want. I researched the courses, the universities, the whole path, because my family had decided it was the right dream for me.
The right dream, like dreams come with instructions. So what was it, and what stopped you?
Medicine. My mother had always wanted a doctor in the family. And the weirdest part? I knew I didn't want it, but I still almost did it. I came within one application form of starting a life I would have hated. And you said 16, your dad's picture. What was in it?
The picture was simple. Graduate, get a stable job, buy a house, settle down. In that exact order. Like he handed me a map and said, "This is the route." And I followed it so well that I forgot to ask if I even wanted to go where it led.
And hey, English learners, welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. If you've just joined us, you've walked into the middle of a crisis. Jake's entire wish list has just been traced back to other people, and I've confessed to planning a career I didn't want. I'm Emma, and this is Jake, reluctant map follower. And that's our topic today, chasing someone else's dream. So, Jake, the map, what happened?
I followed it all the way to university, engineering, because my father is an engineer. I didn't choose it, I just walked into it. It was the next step on the map.
And did you ever stop and think, wait, this isn't mine?
Once. In my second year, I sat in a lecture and thought, I don't want any of this. And then I talked myself out of it. I told myself it was just a hard phase, that everyone feels that way, that I'd grow to love it. It's a very polite lie, but you don't grow into someone else's dream. You just shrink to fit it.
That's a powerful sentence. You shrink to fit it. Did you ever tell your father?
No, not for years, because he was so proud. Every exam I passed, every good grade, he'd tell everyone. And the thought of saying, "This isn't mine," felt like throwing his pride back in his face.
The guilt of disappointing people, that's the engine of the whole thing, isn't it? We chase someone else's dream because we're terrified of the look on their face when we stop.
Exactly. And it's not just parents. It's partners, mentors, whole families, anyone whose opinion you've built your self-worth on. So I lasted 3 years of engineering, and then I failed a year, badly. And I remember sitting in my room thinking, I failed something I never even chose.
And that's when something clicked, I'm guessing.
Permission. The failure gave me permission to admit I was in the wrong place. It sounds backwards, but failing was the first honest thing that happened to me in years. A very expensive gift, but a gift. I switched courses, found something I actually liked.
So the failure was a gift. You know, something that seemed bad but turned out useful. And your father, how did he take the switch?
Not well. For about a year, every conversation was tense. He kept saying, "You had everything going for you." It took a long time for him to hear me. But eventually, and this is the part I didn't expect, he admitted he'd never loved engineering either. He'd done it because his father wanted it.
Wait, the whole thing was inherited? He was chasing his own father's dream and he passed it to you like a hand-me-down?
A hand-me-down dream. That's exactly what it was. It had been in the family for 3 generations. And that's the moment I stopped being angry at him. He wasn't pushing his dream. He was passing on the only map he'd ever been given.
Okay, that reframes everything. So we're not just talking about pushy parents. We're talking about people passing down dreams they never questioned themselves. And that's why it's so hard to say no. You're not just rejecting a suggestion. You're breaking a chain that's been going for generations.
No pressure then. Just the weight of your entire family history. But I want to hear the rest of your confession, Emma. You promised. The medicine story.
Why? So I filled in the form, I sat with it for 3 days, and I couldn't press send. I just couldn't. And I remember crying, not because I was sad, but because I was relieved. My own body refused to do it.
Your body knew before your brain did. That's the same thing that happened with my failure. So what did you tell your mother?
I told her I wasn't going to apply, and she said something I've never forgotten. I wanted to be a doctor once too. I gave it up when I had you. Not as a guilt trip. She said it like it was obvious. Like, of course you'll finish what I started. It took 2 more years before we talked properly. Then she said, I think I was trying to live through you.
Whoa. So her dream became your duty. You weren't chasing your dream, you were completing hers, trying to live through you. That's the phrase of the whole episode, I think. We chase someone else's dream because they couldn't chase their own. We become their second chance.
And that's the part that makes it so hard to walk away from. It's not just a dream. It's someone's unfulfilled life. You feel like you'd be betraying their sacrifice. And yet, the uncomfortable part, living someone else's dream doesn't complete them. It just delays your own life.
So let's get honest about the cost. What does chasing someone else's dream actually do to you over time?
It hollows you out. Slowly. You don't notice at first. You're busy, you're achieving, everyone's proud. But there's this background hum of, this isn't mine. And the hum gets louder every year.
The hum. I know it. It's the feeling of being successful at something you don't care about. You get the grades, the promotions, the applause, and you feel nothing. And eventually you get good at faking it, smiling at the right moments. Then one day you look in the mirror and you can't remember who you were before you started performing.
That's the real cost, isn't it? It's not wasted time or money. It's lost self. You lose track of your own preferences, your own voice, your own taste. The dream that isn't yours doesn't just take your years. It takes your compass.
And that's why people stay so long. Not because the dream is good, but because leaving it means facing the question, so what do I want? And that's terrifying when you've never been allowed to answer it.
So let me push back on myself here, because I don't want this episode to become your parents are the enemy, because they're not. Mine weren't. There was love in my mother's dream. She wasn't being cruel. She was being human. The expectation came from a place of care, not control.
So the villains here aren't the parents. The villain is the silence. Nobody asking, is this what you want? And nobody answering. And I want to go one step further. Sometimes chasing someone else's dream gives you useful things.
That's true. I spent a year studying subjects I hated, but I learned discipline. I learned how to work hard at something I didn't love. Those skills stayed with me. The years weren't wasted. They were borrowed. I took the skills and left the dream behind.
Borrowed, not wasted. That's the nuance people miss. You can be grateful for the lessons without being stuck in the plan. Thanks for the map. Now I'll draw my own.
And the funny thing about my story, what I did instead, I became a writer. Nobody in my family suggested it. It wasn't on any map. It's the only career that's ever felt like mine. And it took my mother the same year of silence you had with your father. But now she's my biggest fan. She reads everything.
A writer? And your mother came around. That's the full circle, isn't it? She stopped wanting a doctor and started wanting your stories. I love that.
I love that. It's respectful to the giver and honest to yourself. You're not rejecting the person. You're outgrowing the plan.
And that's the realistic insight of this whole conversation. Chasing someone else's dream isn't a crime. It's a phase. The crime would be staying there forever, quietly resenting everyone involved.
And quietly resenting yourself. Because that's the part we don't admit. The resentment isn't just aimed at them. Some of it is aimed at us for not speaking up sooner.
Ouch. True, though. I resented myself for years for not saying anything at 17. But you can't blame a teenager for not having the words. That's like blaming a fish for not knowing how to climb a tree.
A fish in a tree. Okay, that's the gentlest metaphor we've used all episode. So we forgive our younger selves. And then what? How do you know, honestly, whether the dream you're chasing is yours or someone else's?
I think there's a test. The Bored on Sunday test. Imagine it's a random Sunday. No deadline, no one watching, no applause. Would you still do this thing? If the answer is yes, it's probably yours. If the answer is I'd only do it if someone was watching, it's probably theirs. It removes the audience, and so much of this is about the audience.
The Bored on Sunday test. I like that, because it's the opposite of performing. There's no one to impress, no applause to chase, just you and a thing.
Exactly. The applause, the approval, the well done. And there's a second test I use now, the jealousy test. Watch what you envy. If you feel jealous of a surgeon, maybe medicine is calling you. But if you actually feel jealous of the musician playing on the street while you're in medical school, that's a sign your heart is elsewhere.
Ooh, envy is a compass. We've used that idea before in an episode about comparing yourself to others. It keeps coming back because it's true. Your envy doesn't lie, even when you do. The things you secretly envy are the things you secretly want.
And the reverse works too. The relief test. If you imagine the dream ending, the course canceled, the plan abandoned, and you feel relief, that dream was never yours.
We're collecting tests today. Sunday test, jealousy test, relief test. If all three point the same way, you have your answer. So for someone who's realized they're chasing someone else's dream, where do they start?
Start small. You don't have to burn your life down. Ask one question. If I had nothing to prove to anyone, what would I do this weekend? Then do one small version of it. Don't quit your course tomorrow. Just spend an hour a week on the thing that's actually yours. Protect it. Water it. See if it grows.
And if it grows, you have evidence. If it doesn't, you've learned something too. Either way, you're no longer just following the map. But here's the hardest part. The conversation. Telling the people you love that their dream isn't yours. How do you even start it?
You start with the truth and leave out the blame. Not your dream was wrong, but I've realized I need to find my own, and I need your help.
Your help, not your permission. That's the key. You're not asking them to approve, you're asking them to be there while you figure it out.
And the best part? Most people surprise you. My father took a year to come around, but when he did, he said, I just wanted you to be happy. I got confused about what that looked like.
I got confused about what that looked like. That's the most forgiving sentence I've heard all episode. Because it's true. The people who handed you the dream usually wanted your happiness. They just confused their version with yours.
Exactly. And when you understand that, the anger melts. You stop fighting them and start including them. You say, here's what I want, instead of, here's why you're wrong. And that's the grounded truth we've been circling. The goal isn't to reject the people. The goal is to reclaim the dream, to take back the pen and write your own ending.
Take back the pen. That's going on the poster. And it connects back to your story, Emma, your mother's unfulfilled dream. You didn't reject her by not becoming a doctor. You honored her differently by doing something you actually loved, so you'd never have to hand your own unfulfilled dream to someone else.
Wow, I hadn't thought of it that way. I broke the chain. That's a lovely way to think about it. Not I won, but it stops here. The chain of unfulfilled dreams ends with you.
Okay, I think we're ready for the words. You know what time it is. Time for Word Tour. For anyone new, this is where we slow down and take a proper look at the best words and phrases from today's conversation.
And today's crop is perfect for this topic. First word, Live up to. It means to be as good as people expect you to be. Example, I spent my whole life trying to live up to my parents' expectations.
And my example, she felt she could never live up to her sister's grades. It's the word for the pressure we've been talking about all episode, the constant measuring against someone else's standards.
Second word, follow in someone's footsteps. It means to do the same things that someone else did, usually a family member. Example, he followed in his father's footsteps and became a lawyer.
And the lighter version, I followed in my grandmother's footsteps and became a baker. Best decision I ever made. Sometimes it works out. The question is whether you chose the footsteps or just walked in them.
Third word, be cut out for. It means to be naturally suited to something. Example, after 2 years, I realized I wasn't cut out for engineering.
And mine, she's clearly cut out for teaching. She has endless patience. It's such a useful phrase. You can be cut out for a job, a city, a lifestyle, and discovering you're not cut out for something is just as valuable.
Fourth word, at a crossroads. It means at a point where you have to make a big decision, like standing where 2 roads meet. Example, I'm at a crossroads in my career and I don't know which way to go.
And mine, after graduation, she found herself at a crossroads, her family's plan or her own. It's a lovely dramatic image, the moment of choice, and everyone has been there at least once.
And the last one, have a change of heart. It means to change your opinion or your decision. Example, I was going to study law, but I had a change of heart at the last minute.
And the family version, my father had a change of heart when he saw how happy I was. 5 words, live up to, follow in someone's footsteps, be cut out for, at a crossroads, change of heart. Now, my favorite part, say it better.
For anyone new, we take a basic sentence, admit it's perfectly fine, and then upgrade it into the kind of English native speakers actually use. Sentence 1, the basic version. I want to make my parents happy with my job. Nothing wrong with it, it's clear and correct.
But say it better. I want to live up to my parents' expectations. See the upgrade? Live up to, from our word tour, captures the whole pressure in 3 words. It's more precise, and it's exactly what a native speaker would say. It sounds like you understand the weight, not just the wish.
Next, basic. I became a teacher because my mother was a teacher. Totally fine, but say it better. I followed in my mother's footsteps.
Follow in someone's footsteps, word tour word, is the vivid, natural way to say it. Shorter, and it carries the whole idea of family and choice in one image. Next, basic. I'm not good at this job. Nothing wrong with it, but say it better. I'm not cut out for this job.
Be cut out for, word tour word, is the natural way to say not suited to, and it's kinder than not good at. It suggests it's not your fault, it's just not your fit. Native speakers use it all the time.
Next, basic. I don't know which direction to take in my career. Clear and correct, but say it better. I'm at a crossroads in my career.
At a crossroads, word tour, turns 4 clauses into one beautiful image. You can picture the 2 roads. It's dramatic without being heavy, perfect for big decisions.
And the last one, basic. I changed my mind about being a doctor. Perfectly good, but say it better. I had a change of heart about medicine.
Change of heart, word tour word, is warmer and more emotional than changed my mind. Changing your mind sounds like logic. A change of heart sounds like feeling. And this whole topic is about feelings. 5 upgrades, 5 word tour words. That's the system.
Okay, and now back to the game from the start of the show. The 3 things. Did you ever work out what you actually want, Jake?
I've been working on it all episode, actually. And I've got a new list. It's shorter, and it's mine. No uncles, no friends, no fathers on it. You can hear the first one. I want to keep drawing. Nobody suggested it. I just like it. It's small, it's mine, and it makes me happy.
That's a beautiful first item. And it's the perfect answer, honestly, because it's small. Everyone expects the big dream, the company, the fame, the book deal. But the truth is, most of us just want the small things that feel like ours.
The small things that feel like hours. That's the phrase I'm taking with me today. I spent 10 years chasing a giant map that wasn't mine, and the first real dream I found was the size of a pencil.
The size of a pencil. I love that. And the phrase I'm taking? Take back the pen. Every time I feel the pull of someone else's expectations, I'm going to remind myself, the pen is mine. I write the ending.
And for everyone listening who's been walking someone else's map, the course you chose for your parents, the job you took for the applause, this one's for you. It's never too late to take back the pen. Even if you're 40, even if you're mid-career, even if you're one application away from a life you don't want.
And if this episode felt useful, or if you laughed at Jake's borrowed wish list, consider subscribing to the podcast. It's free. It keeps these conversations alive. And honestly, your comments are the highlight of our week.
We really do read them. So tell us, what dream are you chasing, and whose is it really? We'd love to hear your story.
And one small challenge before we go. This week, ask yourself the bored on Sunday question. If nobody was watching, would I still do this? The answer might surprise you.
That one question can start a whole new life. And with that, take care, keep learning, keep speaking. And remember, someone else's dream can be a great nap, but it's still their map. Draw your own.
Draw your own. That's the last line of the episode because nothing can follow it.
Bye, everyone. May your wish lists be your own, and may your Sundays be full of things you chose.
Bye, everyone. And if you're standing at a crossroads right now, wondering whose dream you're chasing, trust the Sunday test. Your heart already knows the way.
See you next time, everyone. And remember, the best dreams are the ones you find yourself, in your own handwriting. Take care.
And the best first step? It's not the big leap. It's the small thing you do this weekend with nobody watching. That's where your real dream starts. Bye for now.